an eargasm of learning and a no-fuss show. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast, where you can learn straightforward topics about branding, digital entrepreneurship, online business, and many more with your charming host, John Santos, along with inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders worldwide.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast with me, John Santos. And we have a special guest who I am very excited. Solid. Our special guest is, let me say this, guys. She is a celebrity.
I'm not a celebrity.
A multi-award winning business coach, a successful published writer, international entrepreneur. Wow. And the list goes on. A course creator. She runs a podcast. Wow. She has been featured on NBC, Forbes, South Florida Times, HuffPost, and the Miami Herald. Wow. Wow. Guys, wow. And she says she's not a celebrity.
No, really not. Just a regular person over here.
Not to mention, guys, our special guest is very beautiful, very kind and humble. She has a very amazing smile. And I'm just blessed to be with this person now in our show. Let's all welcome our very special guest, Dr. Tracy TIMBERLAKE. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. What a wonderful introduction. That was amazing. Thank you so much. I'm excited.
Thank you, Tracy. We talk about it off cam, and I'm going to repeat it again on cam. Thank you so much for spending time with us here in the show. I know you're a very busy person. And when I say that, I mean it. You are a very busy person who time difference, but you are here with us and you have this energy, and I'm excited. So thank you again. Thank you.
Oh, it is my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. All right, Tracy. We have a tradition here in the show that, yes, we know our viewers and listeners, we know that you are successful. And I just informed them that you are successful because of the intro.
Right.
But the most important thing is we are excited to know your story. Who influenced you or what? Who influenced you or what influenced you to be in this platform of greatness, to be in this position you are right now? So please share us your story. The floor is yours.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, who influenced me? I would say that I knew from a very young age that I was probably supposed to do something different with my life. If I look back to maybe 6 or 7 years old, I can probably recognize that. What it was, I don't know. Thankfully, I had a really great mom. So my dad died when I was 7, but I grew up with my mom, and thankfully she was so great at encouraging us to just really pursue our dreams. She never, my mom's Filipino, and a lot of Filipino moms can be very...
Wait. Let me just cut you there. Okay. Your dad is an American, right?
Yeah, my dad's Black and from America. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And your mom is?
My mom is Filipino. Yes.
So you're half Filipino.
I am half Filipino. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you know how to speak Tagalog?
I do. I don't speak it often because I'm always here. So my mom is from Pampanga, so I know how to speak Kapampangan and I know how to speak Tagalog.
Wow.
My brother played for the PBA for several years too. So I was over there a lot when he was playing. And I was born in the Philippines. And then we moved here when I was 1. My dad's in the military.
But my public relations manager is really a fan of you. So she's nonstop on the brother who is a PBA player, and she was like bragging that she has this connection with you, and she's just amazed. And now I am amazed.
Yeah, so I was in the Philippines a lot when he was playing. I would go like almost every year. So Tagalog is something, and I have a lot of Filipino friends, and I mostly, can talk in Tagalish, but but yes, I understand really well.
Sure. Please continue your story.
So my mom was really good at allowing us to pursue our dreams. And I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. I was like, well, what if I try this? What if I try this? What if I do that? And so I think in just trying a little bit of everything, I started my YouTube channel. This is about 10 years ago. And when I started my YouTube channel, I learned that I could have a platform doing the things that I like to do, and that people would want to listen, and that people cared, and that I could make money just being myself. And so that's how it really all got started, is saying like, oh, like who I am is actually enough to build a career off of. And so that's how I got started. But the inspiration, I think, was really just my mom letting me explore anything that I wanted to do. I mean, I was really good at school, so I kept going to school, and, I went to business school, and then I tried nonprofit. I was in ministry for a little bit, and I couldn't seem to figure out what I wanted until I found, my YouTube channel and what I do online.
Wow, I love that. You really explored, and it's an adventure. Isn't it scary, going into, and I'm guessing, when you started this path in social media, in YouTube, making content, it was different back then, right?
Yeah,
it was very different back then compared to now. So, and I know that. And isn't that scary?
It's scary, but it's also fun. I think for people who are entrepreneurial, they have this desire to explore and to do and to create new things. And so you're always following the trends and trying to figure out what's going to make sense.
Wow, I'm amazed. I'm really amazed. Like, and guys, for all our viewers and listeners, please do check her YouTube account. You will be amazed. The content, it's pure value. And I'm not just saying this because she's here, but it's really pure value. Let me just say this. It will really help you in your journey towards success. It's not going to be easy, but those episodes, those content that she creates in her YouTube account will really give you something that you can use in your journey.
Thank you. Yeah, I wish I had more time to do more YouTube videos at this point. But I'm proud of what it helped me to accomplish in life.
Right. Now, as a successful, an international and successful entrepreneur, I am excited, and I know our viewers and listeners are excited to hear, your perspective, your tips, in starting a business coming from you, because this is one of the problem nowadays. There's a lot of people, and it's their right. There's a lot of people out there online that would say they're a businessman, they're entrepreneur, and they will give you tips how to start a business, how to make a successful business. But there's no digital footprint. There's no social a background check. And worse is people are looking for help. People are looking for something with value. Now we have you that is so successful, and I'm excited to hear your insights. So, Tracy, please share us tips in starting your business.
Yeah, so I think, one of the first things is when you're starting a business, you really have to start the business based on something that you love to do. Because if you don't, you're not going to keep going, because building a business can be hard. It can be challenging. You're going to get frustrated. Things aren't going to work out. And if you don't love the work, then you're just going to quit, right? Because it's not worth it. So you're looking at what's the payoff for all the frustration? It's not always going to be daisies and sunshine. You're not always going to make millions and millions of dollars. You have to kind of, get started from the bottom. So that's the first step. Is figure out what your soul is calling you to do, what you're called to do. And that's very practical for some people. Maybe you like copywriting, right? It doesn't always have to be, a motivational speaker. Sometimes it's practical. Maybe you like building websites, right? So what do you like to do? What are your natural gifts? And then from there, I would say, start to build some of that social proof. You always want to give before you ask, right? This is a concept that Gary Vaynerchuk talks about in his book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, which is like, you have to give, give, give. And that's where the social proof that you talk about, comes in. Is like, a lot of the times people go, I'm starting a business, sign up for my stuff. And it's like, no, you have to give value, give content. I was on YouTube for 5 years before I ever even thought about starting a business. I'd been giving all this content and I didn't even know that I could be a business. I was getting brand deals and stuff like that. But I had been doing it for so long that by the time it was time for me to start my business part, people were like, okay, yes, she's given, she actually knows what she's talking about. So not that it needs to take you 5 years, but get on your social media, do live streams, start a podcast, write a blog, make a YouTube channel, continue to social proof yourself with just evidence that you know what you're doing, right? And then from there, people will start to tell you what they need, what they want, or what you want to create. And then you can start, selling products, programs, whatever it is you want. But really that giving piece in the beginning is going to be really important.
Wow. Those are, it sounds like it's basic, but it's the foundation. And I love, I love what you share about, you need to start something that you really love. You need to start something that you're really passionate about. And I believe in that, because in order for something to flourish, it needs to be connected, needed in your belief, in what you love to do, what you are created to be. If you are created to be in that field, you will blossom. And good about it is not only beneficial for you, but you will benefit the people around you as well. Your team, your employees, or your audience, your market. The blessing that will flow to you will also flow to them.
Exactly. And I think that, when you're a created being, there are things that you naturally do well. I think God gives people their gifts and their talents, for a reason. So explore those. A lot of the times people are just too scared because they're like, oh, it's not going to work, or I don't know how to get started. So it's sometimes just starting. And in 2021, nowadays, you can start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, just start talking somewhere, do some live streams, get on Clubhouse, start talking. Yeah.
You mentioned Clubhouse. I was like, I was invited to speak 15 minutes. I just finished 15 minutes before our podcast.
Oh, wow. That's great.
It's a 24 hours speaking engagement in the UK about motivation and as leaders. So I love that you mentioned that. Now, let's put I have this attitude here in the show that I have this hat of a commoner, so to speak. Okay, the idea is wonderful, right? Do what you love, start something. Now the common question is, and this is really something that is being asked in the real world. Yes, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, a successful businessman. Question number one, I don't have the money. I don't even have a computer or a camera. How will I push through in my dream?
Well, here's, what's great is that you don't really need high-tech equipment to get started, right? So I always say, you have a phone, your phone does have a camera, get started with that. You may not be able to build the biggest empire with your phone, but you can definitely get started, right? For example, Clubhouse, it's a great place to network. It's a great place to start to build your online audience, right? You can connect your Instagram, you can connect your Twitter, and all you need is an iPhone for that. And if you don't have an iPhone, then maybe you get started with podcasting, because there are apps that are free, like Anchor FM. You get started just speaking on things and you upload it directly right away. If you want to make YouTube videos, then use your phone for that. We all start at zero. This is what I tell people. Everyone starts at 0 followers, 0, credibility. Some people have more money to get started, but it's really not about the money to get started, right? It's about your motivation to get started and your diligence and your discipline, because you don't need a lot of money to get started at all.
Wow.
You need $0 to get started.
I totally agree. I started in that position, doing everything as a solopreneur. And before that, I was a working class employee, doing jobs, and nothing wrong with that. I always believe that in order for you to be a good leader, you need to start as a good servant. You need to start at level 1, because you will understand what is the needs. You would understand the people around you, how they work, what do they need, how you can create, how you can craft a solution for those challenges, right? Now, question number 2, a pop-up question. Yeah, so you answered the perspective about the money issue, and I love what you said about just being resourceful. I love this from Joel Austin. He said that recognize what you have. God will always provide something that you will need. You cannot surprise God. It's like, hey, I want to start a business, but I'm not prepared. I don't have anything. No, God will always provide. He can give you anything, as long as, I love what you said, as long as you have the drive, to start something. Question number 2, in connection to that, and this is funny, but this is a real question. It's either I don't know what my talent is, or the common question, I don't have any talent. I can't speak. I am shy, so I can't face the camera. Common question. I think I can't do like what they do. So what's your take on this?
So for people who are like, I don't know what my talent is, I don't know what my purpose is, I always say, that's not true. I am certain that is not true. Like there's a deeper knowing inside of you that you just might be afraid to admit, right? But like I said, like now that I'm on this side of it, right? Now that I'm on this side of the table, I know that I can look back to when I was 6 or 7 years old, and I can feel like I know from that age that I was called to do something greater with my life, right? I didn't know that at 6 or 7, but like looking back, I know. So I don't believe that I don't think that people really believe that they don't have a talent or they don't know what their purpose is. I think that God is really clear. We are just stubborn, afraid. We don't trust enough. And so that causes us to not move forward. In the terms of like, I can't do what they do, it's not about having the skill set right now. I used to not be a great public speaker. Because where was I public speaking? Like I was in school. Like where was I doing some of this motivational speaking? Where was I doing? Nowhere, right? But once I started doing more of it, then I realized, oh, actually, I'm really good at this. And I can own the part of me that had to learn it along the way. I wasn't always good at making YouTube videos. If you go back to my very first YouTube video, it was trash. Like it was just garbage. And that's fine because I was willing to learn along the way. And so you have to just be willing to learn, because you're not going to know everything the first time around. You're not going to know how to write a book. You're not going to know how to speak on stages. Those are things that you learn as you show up. And so showing up is really the most important part, is just continue to show up, continue to be present, let God do the leading. And just to the point of, what Joel Osteen said and what you said, like God always has what you need right now. You don't need the things that you think you need. You just need what you have right now.
Oh, I love that. Goosebumps. Yeah. I love that. You don't need what you think you need at the moment. God will provide what you need in your situation at the moment, right? Wow. Wow. I love that. And going back to, the point where I can't do what people are doing, I'm not good enough, that perspective. God has placed something in you that will flourish. And we are all created uniquely. And with that, we have separate talents, we have separate, capabilities. You just need to focus on your journey, right? Forget about the naysayers, continue, don't hate, respect, love. Probably they have their issues also. So, just continue in your journey in life, and you will see that you will be blessed, and you will be a tool to bless other people's also, like you, Tracy. I mean, you have this light, and I'm not just saying this because you're the guest in the show. You have this light that I believe you are the reason why you're blessed obviously, is to reach out people and inspire people, change their lives by whatever content you are creating. May it be speaking, your modules, your sales kit, whatever you are creating. And this is in the Bible. And I'm not being religious here, but this is who I am, and this is the reality. I'm done with all those podcasts that are limited, that they can't speak about Jesus, but they can speak about all those mumbo jumbo things out there. Right? This is my show, and we can speak whatever we want to speak.
Yes.
And God created you to be in that position, to really change the world, to really give life in the content that you're creating. He blesses your hands so that you can reach out people and anoint people. In the modern way, we have YouTube, we have creative content, and that makes your business successful. Because I always believe this: intent comes before content. If your intention, and this is not wrong, if your intention is to make money, to establish an empire, that's good, but that is so shallow. And I'm not being a hypocrite. There's more than just having riches and glory in this world. I'm not a millionaire, I'm getting there, but there's more than that. And I'm seeing that beyond that more than life in your business and what you do. You are not just there to create something, but you're there to touch people's hearts. Now that's some responsibility, Tracy.
It is. And thank you so much. I receive all of that, and amen. And I'm always blown away. Sometimes I'm like, God, I don't know how I got here. I don't know what I did, but because I'm always blown away at how he has allowed me to really just do the thing that I love the most, which is to help people and to see people step into their own God-given calling and impact the world in their own way. And so I love that I get to do that. And I love that it's kind of like my mission in life. And I always say, my mission in life is to live my life in a way that shows people what's possible for theirs, because I think we do live very limited, and we forget how big God is. And we forget, that when he places callings, that he's going to provide all the things that you need to pursue the calling, but you have to show up for it. You have to say yes. But when you say yes, then that means that that's going to come with some responsibility, because that yes isn't always going to be the easiest road to go on. But it's been a journey, and it's been fun. And I'm super excited about what God's doing now and what I see God doing in the future.
Wow. Basic tips from Tracy Timberlake. Amazing. Tracy, simple takeaway before we go to the next segment. Simple takeaway for our viewers and listeners about starting a business.
About starting a business, start before you're ready, because that is important. You have to start before you are ready. You're never going to feel ready. You just have to do it. And you have to trust every step of the way. Trusting yourself, because I think that there is an inner knowing. I think that God speaks to us through what's inside of us, but also trusting him, because I think he speaks very clearly. We just don't want to listen all the
time. I love that. Actually, I've read that. Tracy, it's similar, the article that I read. We think that God is not present and there's no voice, but in fact, he never left us. He's there. We are just, too focused on a lot of things. The clutter is too much that we forget to see that he's there. His voice is always there. We are just preoccupied with a lot of things, but he is always in control. He is always there. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So I am so energized, and I believe our viewers and listeners are blessed with your perspective, inspired with your story, and equipped with your tips. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you so much for giving us those treasures.
You're welcome. I hope that they are helpful, or at least get people to start thinking.
All right. So we are now in the part of the show that we will play a game. Are you ready, Tracy Timberlake?
I am ready.
All right. So the goal of this game is yes, we are successful in our expertise. We are, we have titles, but this part of the show aims to show our viewers and our listeners that we are all human beings. We sometimes don't know what to say. We laugh, we act silly, and you will discover that as we start to play the game. I will ask questions. You are not allowed to spend too much time in thinking what the answer should be. First word that pops in your mind, shoot. Okay?
Okay. Mhm.
All right. Ready? Question number 1. Favorite color?
White.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
The beaches or the mountains?
The beaches.
You will love the Philippines. Yeah. Top 3 books of all time.
Aside from the Bible, The Divine Law of Compensation by Marianne Williamson, The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn, and The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy.
Wow, powerful combination. If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why?
I would be an owl because I just like to perch myself up and observe the surroundings and be like the sage of the animal kingdom.
Yeah, actually, yes. In mythology and, in every pop culture, it's always a symbol of wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Love that. Beautiful and full of wisdom. See? Perfect combination. Next question, Tracy. What scares you?
What scares me is not doing what I'm supposed to do in life, like getting to the end of my life and not fulfilling what I was supposed to do.
Oh, yeah. I think because of that, you will have regrets, right? And that's very deep. Yeah, very deep. Okay, next question. Are you a driver or a passenger?
I'm in life, I feel like I'm a driver, but I do not actually like to drive. I prefer for somebody to drive me, but in life, I'm a driver.
All right, next. What is something that is always inside your bag when you were a kid?
Probably chapstick.
Chopsticks?
Yeah, chapstick, like lip gloss.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow. How old were you when you have those?
Oh, I mean, I can remember being, 5 or 6 in my little,
Right.
purse.
Okay. What is the weirdest food you ever tried?
Balut.
Oh, yeah. Can you eat it? Do you love eating it?
I mean, it was okay. I don't know that I'll eat it again, but when I was a kid, I really liked it. When I was little, I did fine.
I am a Filipino, but man, I will not eat balut. No. Well, good for you then. You have the appetite for it. All right. This last question can be a serious one. It depends on how you will take it. All right. And this is a traditional question that I always ask in the show. Ready?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you have the power, Tracy, to bring back someone back from the dead, who would it be and why?
Who would I bring back from?
Anyone. This could be anyone.
I mean, this sounds silly, but I think that I would bring back Kobe Bryant. I would bring back.
Wow. All right. Okay. I'm going to mix it up a bit. Okay.
Okay.
In the why part. Let's say you use your power and he's back. Kobe's back. And I called you and Kobe, I invited you inside a coffee shop. Because remember, we're in a coffee shop. We're having a conversation. Now, what will you ask Kobe? And you can only ask one question.
One question to Kobe Bryant, I would say, you know what? I would make it very general, so he'd have to talk a lot. I would say, what are your plans?
Very smart. That's got to be a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Let him talk. Because then at least all the plans are out there and, somebody can take the reins. But that's what I would ask. What are your plans?
Yeah, very smart. Now guys, that is why Tracy is such a successful entrepreneur. She's smart, beautiful, and kind. All right,
Thank you
Tracy.
so
So thank you for, giving us learning after learning, being silly in the game part. Now, I know you have a lot of promotions, your social media accounts, any online releases or online events. Please promote it. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate that. So the best thing I would say is just to follow me on Instagram, because I'm always doing something new. I have a couple of summits coming up and they're going to be free. And so you don't want to miss out on that. So definitely just follow me on Instagram. I'm at Tracy Timberlake, and then just stay in touch, stay up to date, and let me know that you're there.
Wow. Okay, guys, please do connect with Tracy. I'm sure she would guide you in your journey in life, in business, towards success. So this is John Santos with the awesome Dr. Tracy Timberlake. Have a positive outlook in life, guys. Smile. God bless you.
Thank you for being with us here on the Creative Talk Podcast. I'm your host, John Santos. Don't forget to listen and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. See you again, always.